What are the 6 steps to an opiate detox? That's what I'm going to go through. This detox, opiates is a family of drugs. The ones I'm talking about are oxycodone, hydrocodone, heroin, and fentanyl. This does not work for methadone. Other opiates, which this could work for, codeine, morphine, they're not used that much. But this detox I'm setting up, this 6-part plan, is for mostly oxycodone, hydrocodone, heroin. Fentanyl, which is a very potent opiate measured in micrograms, is metabolized very quickly and leaves your system very quickly. So we have to change the timeline of this detox. So it's a 6-part plan. What do we need to do? Part 1, prepare yourself. What do you have to do? You have to prepare yourself 3 days in advance. You have to hydrate your body with water and electrolytes. Eat a healthy diet. Make sure it's high in meat and cheese. That helps your bowel stay solid and prevent diarrhea. And rice. Make sure you're hydrated. You're eating cheese and meat. Make sure you have vitamins. Make sure you haven't been out in the sun burning your skin. Don't do any heavy physical activity. So, phase 1, prepare your body 3 days in advance. Hydration, eating meats, take a multivitamin. Don't go in the sun. Don't be lifting weights. And make sure you have a place where you can detox. The setting, a cool, dry place where you will be safe for at least 24 to 36 hours. Make sure you have the appropriate food and water in place. Chicken soup, ginger snaps, crackers, crystallized ginger, easy to digest saltine crackers, some cooked turkey, some hard-boiled eggs, simple, plain foods. Honey and tea, yes. This is really important. Prepare your body, make sure you're hydrated. Make sure the setting is right. You have all your stored foods and liquids. Pedialyte would be important. Make sure you have a friend there for the first 24 hours. You may not need it for 24 hours. You may need it from hours 12 to 24. You need a friend around. You need all the appropriate drugs. You'll need clonidine, which blocks the opiate withdrawal. You'll need methacarbamol, which is Robaxin, to block muscle spasms. This is the best one. This is my preferred muscle relaxant. There's Flexeril, cyclobenzaprine. Don't use that one. Metoxalone, which is Scalaxin. Don't use that one. Tizanidine, Xanaflex. Don't use that one. Don't be doing Valium or Baclofen. Valium being diazepam. Use Robaxin, methacarbamol. Then there's an antidepressant which blocks nausea, helps you sleep, minimize the anxiety of withdrawal, called mirtazepine. You got to have that one. You need lorazepam, which is Ativan. You'll need Phenergan promethazine, which is a calming drug, which also blocks nausea. Then loperamide, which blocks diarrhea, and you will need Lomotil. It's good to have it on standby. Diphenoxylate and atropine. So now 3 days, no sun, no working out, hydrating your body, eating foods like meat and cheese. You have a friend on standby. You have a clean, cool place. You've prepared all your drugs. The most important drug would be buprenorphine, Subutex or Suboxone. Doesn't matter. Remember, with this drug, you'll need a 5-day supply for a detox from opiates. And the other meds, you'll need a 5-day supplies. And remember, with clonidine, it's given 3 times a day, so you'll need 21 pills, 21 Robaxin pills. You'll need at least 7 mirtazepine pills. You'll need 21 lorazepam. You'll need 21 Phenergan. you'll need at least 7 to 14 loperamide or Lomotil. The buprenorphine, depending on how much opiate you're taking, will do everything in oxycodone equivalents. 50 milligrams or less, you'll need 6 milligrams a day for 5 days, 30 milligrams of buprenorphine. 50 to 100 milligrams a day of oxycodone, you'll need 12 milligrams a day of buprenorphine, which is 60 milligrams of buprenorphine total. 1 to 200 milligrams a day of oxycodone, you need about 24 milligrams a day, which is 116, 120, whatever that is, of buprenorphine. 2 to 300 milligrams a day, of oxycodone, you'll need 32 milligrams a day of buprenorphine. It's 150 plus 10, 160. And for greater than 300 milligrams a day of buprenorphine, you could use up to 48 milligrams a day, and that's like 24, whatever that is. 224 milligrams a day of buprenorphine. So now you've got your clonidine, Robaxin, mirtazepine, lorazepam, phenergan, loperamide, Lomotil, and you have all your buprenorphine. Okay, this is phase 1. Now you're ready. You got everything on standby. Your body's hydrated. You're relaxed. You're in an air conditioning place. You got a friend on standby. You've got all the food, liquids you need. You're ready to go. Now you stop taking your opiate. This is called the withdrawal phase, withdrawal phase 2. You need to go 24 hours for hydrocodone, oxycodone, codeine, morphine, heroin. Minimum of 24 hours off the opiate and go into full-blown withdrawal. Methadone, don't try this. This does not work. It's a separate detox. If you're taking fentanyl, you'll go into withdrawal much sooner than 24 hours. Hydromorphone, which is Diplomat, you'll also go into withdrawal quicker, but no one ever uses that. This is for hydrocodone, oxycodone, heroin, and fentanyl. You'll go into withdrawal in 24 hours or less. Now, you'll be miserable during these 24 hours. To stop the misery, use clonidine, 0.1 to 0.3 milligrams every 4 hours. You could take the mirtazepine twice in 24 hours, 30 milligrams. Lorazepam, 1 to 2 milligrams every 4 hours in this first 24 hours. Phenergan is 25 to 50 milligrams every 4 hours. The loperamide is 4 to 6 milligrams every 12 hours. The Lomotil is 1 tablet 2 or 3 times in 24 hours. Make yourself comfortable. It's not formulaic. Depending on what your body is experiencing, take more or less of the medicine. If you're in serious withdrawal, up the clonidine. If you're getting muscle spasms, take 3 Robaxin, usually 750 milligrams, 3 times a day. The mirtazepine blocks nausea, blocks anxiety, helps you sleep. Try and keep your body relaxed. Prevention is everything. Prevent the symptoms of withdrawal. Hold out as long as you can. Don't initiate starting the buprenorphine prior to 24 hours. You'll regret it. Go ahead and try it. Your legs will kick, nausea, vomiting, sweating, curling up in the fetal position. Don't do it. You'll be sorry. Hold out 24 or more hours. As long as you can. Use the other medicines to hold the withdrawal. We've prepared the body. We put the body into serious withdrawal. We use the other meds to make us hold out as long as possible. That's phase 2. Here's the big one, the initiation phase, phase 3. You have to put the buprenorphine, either Subutex, Suboxone, under your tongue. Your mouth better be wet. That's why you need it to be hydrated, and you can't be throwing up because you have to be able to put this under your tongue for like 15 minutes. Once it's under your tongue, that medicine kicks in about 10 to 15 minutes. If you jumped the gun and took it too early, you'll precipitate a miserable withdrawal. You'll be miserable. Kicking, vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, your hair stands up, hypersalivation, vomiting, curled up, muscle spasms, feel like you're going to die. Don't take it early. The initiation phase is critical. Now, once you've taken it under your tongue, either you're going to feel good, but if you start seeing yourself feel bad, you've already disrupted the opiate on your receptor and you knocked it off the receptor. At this point, the only thing you do is take more buprenorphine to override that effect and to help stimulate those receptors, because buprenorphine doesn't stimulate them as much as opiates. So either one of two things could happen. You feel great within an hour or you feel terrible. If you feel great, don't take more buprenorphine. If you don't feel so good, your only move is to take more and more of the buprenorphine. At this point, you take as much as you need to, up to almost 32 milligrams right there on the spot. If you've done this right, it should happen. If the dose is less than 300 milligrams, it's extremely unlikely anything will happen to you. If you're in the above 300 milligrams a day, somewhere around 400 to 1,000, and you precipitated a withdrawal, you got problems. You might decide to take more and more buprenorphine and hopefully you'll get out of it, or some people abandon the detox and go back on the opiate. I never do that because I always get out of it, but to each his own. Hopefully you've initiated. Now, phase 4, you have to stabilize the dose of buprenorphine. Take enough in the second day or the third day where your dose is stable. Hopefully you've stabilized where there are no withdrawal symptoms and you feel totally relaxed. If this is done right, there should be no pain, no withdrawal symptoms. By the second day, you should be stabilized. That's phase 4. Once you've stabilized, phase 5, start tapering. Bring it down. This has to last 5 days. So now you have 3 days. You want to drop the dose by 33% each day. This is the taper phase. Then, by day 5, take your last dose. That's it. The final phase is called the pause phase. PAWS, post-acute withdrawal symptoms. This is day 6. Now you can use the medicines I talked about, clonidine to block opiate withdrawal, Robaxin. Clonidine blocks the anxiety of withdrawal and some withdrawal symptoms. The methacarbamol blocks the spasms and offer relaxation. The mirtazepine can be given at night to decrease anxiety and help you sleep. The lorazepam could take anxiety off. Phenergan can help with nausea and calm you. If you have diarrhea, you usually don't see it at this point, take loperamide or Lomotil. Now, have I given just a touch on day 6 of buprenorphine, maybe 2 milligrams, never more. Do not be tempted to give buprenorphine beyond day 5. Whatever it is, you stop at day 5. Use the other drugs to come off. At day 5, the buprenorphine becomes a problem, and now you're going to have issues getting off of that. And be real careful with that lorazepam. Don't use that beyond day 6 or 7. Stop that. If you overdo loperamide or that Lomotil for diarrhea, you could get overly constipated. Don't risk that. The clonidine, you could take as much until you feel dizzy. The Robaxin, you're limited to 750 milligrams 3 times a day. The mirtazepine is 1 at night. Phenergan, it'll make you too tired. You should be functional within 72 hours of doing this. The post-acute withdrawal syndrome could last a long time. Clonidine can be used for months. And the mirtazepine can be used for, let's say, 6 weeks, the clonidine for 6 weeks. After that, you got to man up and just deal with it. There's other things I do, but for the purpose of this talk and for this non-complicated withdrawal, this is what you got to do. Those are the 6 phases of detox. Preparation, you better prepare. Remember, 72 hours, get your body ready, and then go into a 24-hour withdrawal. Have a friend, food, drinks, the medicines, a setting, everything on standby. Put yourself in a withdrawal for 24 hours, using the secondary meds to minimize everything. The initiation phase, this is the trickiest phase, phase 3. You better do it right. Wait your 24 hours. Make sure you're in serious withdrawal before you put that buprenorphine under your tongue. Stabilization, you're out of the woods. Now, the taper must be done by starting day 2, 2.5, where you taper 33% a day over the next 3 days. Make sure you stop buprenorphine in opiate withdrawal by day 5. Then the pause phase, post-acute withdrawal symptoms, that goes on for a while. I've had people who can't sleep, anxiety, they don't feel right. Anyway, I appreciate likes. I appreciate subscribing. I appreciate people going to my blog. Thank you. Dr. Mark Agresti.